Hello, everybody. Michael Sharp from Limestone University, continuing my series on interview advice. And in this video, we're going to cover the top 10 things to remember if you have a dinner or lunch interview. So the first thing to remember is to relax, that overall having a dinner or lunch interview is a really good sign. And it usually is a sign that the people that you're interviewing with want to see you in a more relaxed atmosphere and really get to know you. So overall, this is a great thing for you. So you should look at it that way, and hopefully you can relax a little bit given the relaxed atmosphere. However, you shouldn't relax too much because it still is an interview and they're still asking you questions and things like that. So, number two, no matter what the restaurant is, even if it's a casual restaurant, I would recommend still wearing an appropriate interview outfit. If you have any questions on what to wear on an interview, I have two videos, one for men and one for women, on what to wear to an interview. But just because it's a more casual restaurant, I would not recommend you necessarily wearing something very casual. Number three, and we always remember this on a real interview, but sometimes it's easy to forget going to a restaurant in a more casual relationship. But don't forget to turn on off either off your cell phone or silence your cell phone so you're not getting interrupted during the dinner/ interview. Number four, some advice on ordering. It's great if you don't have to go first. All the dinner interviews I've been on, they kind of look to me to order first, which puts a little bit more pressure on you. But here's my advice with ordering is don't worry about the price of the meals. The company or the people that invited you to the dinner interview know the price range of the food at that restaurant. So don't worry about if it's more than what you would normally spend on a meal. The company definitely knows how much the meals cost. Now, with that, I would advise not to order the most expensive thing on the meal. And again, just because it's an interview and people are looking at you, and you don't want to come across as even the thought of you're trying to take advantage of the situation. So order something you like that is somewhere in the middle of the price range. Definitely go to dinner hungry. You don't want to not eat either. As far as ordering, definitely stay away from anything that might be messy or that you have to use your hands with. So things like spaghetti, ribs, chicken on the bone that you would pick up, anything like that that might be messy or splatter on your clothes, I would stay away from. So anything, a steak, chicken, anything that you can cut into small pieces in case somebody asks you a question. You can quickly swallow and answer the question. Is definitely where I would go. So pick something you like that is not messy. Number five is I would advise you not to order alcohol. Um, even if you go in the middle or last and other people are ordering alcohol, I would probably stay away from it again, just because you are being interviewed and you want to be on the absolute top of your game. Number six is unless you think it's a health hazard, I would not recommend you sending food back, even if it's not exactly the way you like it. Just eat it. Number seven, and this gets tough sometimes, is to try to participate in the conversation. And I've been on some both where we hosted a candidate as well as I was the candidate, where it's difficult to get a word in edgewise because you have four or five people from the office and they're all talking about things going on at the office. But definitely where you can get and participate in the conversation. Have some questions that you can ask. Generally, if it's a lunch or dinner interview, there may be other people that you haven't gotten the chance to meet with on a more formal interview. And you can definitely ask them some general questions. Again, if you have questions on what type of questions you should ask, I have a video on what type of questions you should ask on the interview. But you can ask, what do you like most about working at the company? What are your biggest challenges at the company? And you can kind of go around the table and ask different people that conversation. So try to keep it light, but try to participate in the conversation, because again, a lot of why the company is asking you to go on a dinner interview is to get to know you on a more personal level, and also how you interact with the people and how you get along with the people. So you definitely want to do that in the dinner interview. So number 8 is more about when the food comes and utensils and things like water and bread plates. Um, I guess the easy thing is, particularly if it's a more fancy restaurant with tons of utensils, the general rule is you start from the outside and you work your way in. Some issues with if it's a very crowded table is, which bread plate is yours, which water is yours. And the easiest way to remember that is, and of course it's going to come up the opposite on this film, is if you're looking at your hands and you kind of hold up the okay sign, that if you're looking at it, it's a D, and that is drinks. And this is my right hand on the video. So the drinks are, your drink is generally on the right hand side. And if you hold up your other hand, to me, it looks like a B. And that stands for bread, and your bread plate is on the left. So that's an easy way for you to remember which drink is yours and which bread plate is yours when you're sitting. And again, it's a more fancy restaurant and things like that. Let's see. So number 9 is don't forget at the end of the meal, because again, many of these can seem a lot more informal, but don't forget to say thank you to each one of the people that were at the dinner with you from the company. And I would recommend outside the restaurant or whatever, before you walk to your car, to again reiterate your interest in the job. And again, hopefully you've learned some really valuable information throughout the dinner interview on what they're looking for, what their biggest challenges are, things like that, that you can again highlight and kind of have a quick summary, 15, 30-second elevator pitch on why you think you're the right person for the job. So finally, at the end of this, my number 10 is just remember to have a good time. It is a great sign that you have this dinner interview. So just look at it that way, and hopefully you're able to relax a little bit and have a little bit of a good time on the dinner interview. If you thought this video was helpful, please like the video. And if you're not a current subscriber, please subscribe to my channel so you'll be notified when other videos are produced.